After their very impressive live appearance on Whistletest a few months ago, it was all the more disappointing to hear that the Scots band the Rezillos have since split up.
We just weren't selling enough records.
Punk rock was something that was happening.
It was a downward spiral.
Well, of course, it wasn't actually the late 70s. It started just after the mid 70s, really, and you didn't stop at that time to think that you were doing anything significant. You just were doing your thing, a bit like young people today would be doing their thing. It's only when you look back at it and start to think, oh, that meant something more maybe than we realised. The Rezillos were a concept band in that the name existed before the band existed. So I went round people I knew at art college and said, the Rezillos are coming and you may be part of it. I'm never coming back. Oh, 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 until it's over. Rezillos formed in 1976, completely unaware that there was a brewing punk rock crest coming on the wave. But strangely enough, we seemed to fit a lot of those credentials of being, as much as any band then was a punk rock band, you know, we were part of that zeitgeist. We realised, oh, hang on a minute, we're a kind of punk rock band, but we weren't trying to be, we just fitted that attitude. For various reasons, there were performances that stood out. One was when we all fell out with each other and started punching each other on stage, and the audience thought it was part of the act. From when we put out our first independent record, I remember us all sitting around the kitchen stamping them with number stamps, so they were all a limited edition of, I think, 5,000 or something, and the records went out, and then eventually I think we sold something like 75,000 copies. The Rezillos broke up somewhat acrimoniously, although we became friends again. We came up with an album that was a big hit, and we went too far, too soon, too quickly, and we broke up.
So we came up with the name Revillos, changing the Z to a V, like a V sign to the record company. So when we changed our name, then we were legally able to call ourselves the Revillos and sign to a new record label, which is Virgin Records. I started playing drums. I saw the Beatles in A Hard Day's Night, the movie in the early 60s, and I just thought this is the kind of thing I'd like to do. Before that I wanted to be a train driver, but then when I just saw that you just had to be in a band and lots of girls ran after you, I thought this is a much better thing to do. we didn't have any money, so for a few months, Eugene and Faye and I lived on my unemployment benefit money, so we were pretty strapped for cash until we got our new record deal.
I remember when sometimes we had to audition people later on. One of our trick questions was to say, what's your favourite drug? And if they said, oh, it's so-and-so, we'd say, oh, sorry, next.
Early 80s we were touring all over Europe and everywhere and America, and then around 1983 we got a record deal, managed to get a record deal with EMI. But the problem with the EMI record deal was that they took us on really as a tax loss. That can happen with bands. They can take you on, and then at the end of the tax year they drop you, and they've sort of written off some money. So we didn't have any hits with them, although we recorded an album that they made us pay for from our record advance. They didn't actually release it. So we lost all our money again.
I don't believe in things or bands having to break up. You just can step back from it.
We didn't continue to have chart success, and although the band was great live, we just weren't selling enough records.
I think our feeling was we were all an invincible few people who were almost related through band birth rather than human birth, and that we were going to be forever together. And then, of course, we were that naive that when it turned out that wasn't going to happen, I think it was very upsetting for everybody. Family in band, is that a good idea? Well, it worked with us.
On the pedals and